Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome new subscribers, it's lovely to have you here. So this weekend there was a huge energy shift. Very high vibrations coming in. It feels like a leap. It feels transcendent. You may not know where you are, who you are, what you are. And if that presents you with feelings of lostness, be with that. Right. I'm going to attempt to bring this through. There is so much I could talk into, but I want to go in light because we're all going to experience this in very different ways, depending where we are on our soul's acceleration path, but it's accelerating. No surprise, it's March. It was always going to be big. Okay, so the first card out is collaborate, and the clear message I get from this card today is to collaborate with spirit, is to collaborate with these higher energies. And there's a real collective call for new levels of devotion, and holding the tension of opposites that might bring up resistance. And that's what we have to work with. So this is the higher mind coming in. And remember, we've got Pluto moving into Aquarius. And that's going to bring this pole shift. Pluto is the deep soul work coming into the higher mind, that Uranian mind of Aquarius. So that's a deep, deep pole. So we're going to be digging much deeper. This is kind of the beneath the base chakra stuff. And that's going to feel some kind of way depending on where you are on your path. Okay. And that's coming in with the 7th house of relationship. This is the house of Libra. And this is speaking to that Libra axis where I can see something big is happening and it feels like Judgment Day. So I've been getting images of Lady Liberty, the Statue of Liberty, and feminine divine justice. So the 7th house is speaking to that commitment, devotional service. Where are we devoted to self? Where are we devoted to working in a deeply spiritual way? Because that Libra point has the vertex point on it when Mars moves into Cancer. And that Libra point is staring straight up into the axis between Aries and Pisces. And you remember the word I got with that Libra point was the Alpha and Omega. The Alpha is Aries, the beginning, and the Omega is the completion, the end, the all, Pisces. And they're coming in with the 9th house of Sagittarius, the traveler, traveling galactically, coming in on that very magical 47, 11, 2. It's magical, it's dark and beautiful. And it's giving me the Wheel of Fortune today, the turning of the wheel. So much transcendence here. I don't know where Ceres is on the charts, but she's bringing in this beautiful Virgoan energy of nurturing. And when we plant the seeds, how are we nurturing the seeds? Are we nurturing them through devotion? Because that's going to trigger where we make excuses. It's going to trigger where we're addicted to distraction. Where we might tap into fear, actually, of investing in ourselves, in our higher self, bringing in the higher principle to the physical. Because I can trigger deep fear, ancient fear of birthing the light, bringing heaven to earth. If you check my community page, I put a quick post up. I put 2 posts up today. There's a brilliant video, the most intelligent explanation of the Schumann resonance I've seen so far. So I'm deeply studying the Schumann resonance because there's something different. It's behaving. There's something different happening. And Jupiter is conjunct Chiron in Aries. So it's expanding that deep, deep healing. And here we have the 4th house of Cancer, the foundation, family, familial karma, what we are rooted to, where we are rooted. So belief systems and emotional value systems. And that leads straight into this deep uprooting. And life is going to change. I saw a message this morning for the Ho'oponopono poem. So look it up. There's a few versions, but look it up. That might be a nice thing to chant to create that resonant frequency of acceptance and letting go. It's the death and rebirth cycle. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs and uprooting. And interestingly, that is coming out with the Anunnaki light codes. And feeling into this card this morning is very much past. It's very much sitting in the past. And I'm just tuning into something down here in my throat. Energetic shift. It's literally the dawning of a new day. It really is. It's so vastly different to the energies that I've been experiencing thus far. It's so different. Oh, and it literally says the end of a cycle. The end of that Anunnaki experiment. My body's shaking in this energy. Okay. So I really want to keep my talking quite light in this video. So that offers you a chance to really kind of feel deeply into these cards and come up with your own messages. So as part of the devotion to self is listening to the inner voice, to keep going within. Okay. You've been training for this for lifetimes. It literally is. It is the dawning. Throat. My throat feels nervous to express itself. It's almost like it wants to sing and it daren't. It's that expression, the expression of light. Some of you might be experiencing light language coming in. Sing it in the shower, because light and water together, wow. I can barely speak to the water element and how that's going to reshape our world. There's so much information coming in for me on that. Okay, so the age of light. It's coming in with boundaries, and maybe what I'm experiencing is ancient boundaries of where it became unsafe, of where we think we're separate and we need to protect ourselves, of the whole energy vampire thing. And light is limitless. We can bring limitless light to all. It's only fear that makes us shut the heart down and think that we are in danger of predation. But maybe that doesn't exist, and maybe we just, when we're bringing the light through and we're acting as a hollow bone, there can be no ego. There can be no ego in the way. So we're going to be challenged on where our boundaries are. It feels so old and archaic now, the whole paradigm of protection of energy. It feels dark ages. We don't need that anymore. You know, we've got the higher mind coming in through that channel. It's just channeling pure light. But stuff's going to get in the way because it depends where you are on your path. There's no right, wrong, good, bad. There's just, where are you on your path? Where do you need to establish better boundaries? The boundary might be, I check out, I numb out when I should be, forget should. I numb out when I'm being called to devote energy to my spiritual connection with everything, to my metaphysical sojourn into the galactic energies. Where do I boundary myself? Keep myself in a container, perceived container, because look at all the guidance that's coming in, and her light body is activating. She's just standing, receiving. And if you flip that and go hanged man with that, she could also think they're all coming in to take my energy. Well, energy is moving all of the time. Okay. Star bathing. Light body activation, big activations going on this weekend. Crystal grid, transmission and activation. She's just receiving, trusting, surrendering, allowing. And that's coming in with, and the word I got for this was divinity, as in the holy union, a balanced divinity between the aspects of self, elevating all of the aspects of self and bringing together, the underlying card, the bringing together and the restitching of the fractured soul, the fractured self, where we've become dissociated, where we've disconnected from ourself at a soul level. So it's going to ask us to look at our alignment. So it's all, wow, okay. The phone is ringing, and whether we answer it or not, let there be no good, bad judgment. Let there be no hierarchical judgment. But the phone is ringing. What is your soul calling you to do? Okay, so Hathor light codes is talking about a light immersion. This is the light immersion. Full system upgrade. Energy recall. And that's coming in with it's just a cup full of light. It's full of light. The light is like digging right to the bottom of the cup to push the shadow out, to push the rubble out, to allow the cup to just flow and overflow with light. Inner discovery, finding sacredness. Yeah. You are what you seek. The love that you seek, you are. The connection that you seek, you are. Deeply transformative time. Okay, let's go. I'm going to go to the priestess deck, and then I'm going to go to the deck that I can never remember the name of to really pull it down. And we're right in that cup, ending the Pisces and beginning the Aries, ending with that mutable water, moving into cardinal fire. It's a heck of a shift. Balance. There. Summoning power. Look at these. The balance. Oh, wow. The balance. Look at the balance. The two white wolves and the two black jaguars. From darkness to light and from light to dark. It's a breath. It moves from one to another. Instinct, intellect, control. Choices in there. Do we act on pure instinct, or do we still try and process what's going on with the intellect? The intellect will move to reason, defending, justifying, to control. And that speaks to the boundaries card. Do I boundary using my intellect? Because then I can be right in this, I can feel safe in this and strong and contained in this. And what happens if I let those go? And what happens if I move to instinct, animal instinct? It's that knowing. In the moment, it's that knowing. It's those moments where, do you remember I said, I think it was in the last video, did you know what you wanted to say? Yes. Did you say it? No. Wow. Oh my gosh. That's the calling. It's the God. Sacred action. What is your devotion? What is your devotion? Because we're being called to step up, dive deep. Okay, let's pull this right down, please. No. Oh gosh, there's loads of cards here. Let's just see what the story says. Okay. Mending relationships. And effectively, once we mend the relationship with ourselves and balance the disharmony, the world will just fall into line. The world adjusts to our field and the world responds to our field. People respond to one another energetically. And again, this is speaking to boundaries and alignment, mending boundaries and alignment to come into this higher expression of self, where love is the only answer. You know, not some touchy-feely, earthbound love, but the highest vibration, the highest expression. So mending the never-ending story of conflict without resolution. And sometimes it's easier to stay in conflict because we get to be the person we've always been, that we've always known, that we know so well, but it all becomes very monotone. Same. And until we are out and out, wolf and panther, courageous enough to shine a little bit brighter in that same collective and stand out, then we choose the same. And again, there's no judgment here. There are choices. And when we make those choices, we're acting on our own volition. That's pure gut. Definite choices here. Yeah. Yeah. Nice Pisces. Connect with water. There's nothing I can say to that. I'm just connecting with water and listening. That's all we need to do, is to listen. The higher wisdom doesn't care about what's been fair and what hasn't been fair. It doesn't care about what has felt rough and what has felt good. It doesn't care about the duality. Fair is a subjective value system. It's subjective against your own beliefs, against your own scales of justice. Libra coming in again here. And where do the scales balance? Because they won't always be perfectly level. They might balance like that. Balance. It's interesting. There's a fortune cookie and an egg, both waiting to hatch. Oh, wow, I've never seen that before. Can you see there's a face? I've lost it now. There's a face at belly level, speaking through the instinct. Because sometimes against someone else's measure of fair, what you're about to say in your elevated light might not be fair. but it might be part of your wisdom. It might be part of your truth. It might be part of your deep knowing. It might be part of what you've been suppressing. And the moon speaks to what's hidden. And we have another moon cycle coming up. I'm going to read you some dates at the end of this so you can just make a mental note. The deep knowing. It's the deep knowing of who you are and who you always were. Lifetimes ago. This is the creation. The creation of the spiral. It's made through the mind. We create our world through the mind. And this is speaking to growth. Wow, that's wow. That's literally the opposite of patriarchal business, which wants vertical lift. This is, so I believe this is 108 mathematics. 108 is like the sacred growth, 108. So each segment of this nautilus grows 108%. And 108 is a beautiful, sacred, alchemical number. And it speaks of slow, steady growth. Why has that just caught my eye? Shedding skin after skin after skin, again and again, and refining that process of death and rebirth. Until there isn't that pull of having to let go, until it just becomes this breath of life and death. And we rise and we elevate into our higher power, into that high Aquarian mind. So what I see from this whole reading is the choice. It is the choice to rise, or it is the choice to say, it's not my time, I'm not ready. And know that and own that. It's choice. There's just choice. There's no right or wrong. Wow. Okay. Where am I going? Oh. Okay. I'm going here. I'm going to Nature's Whispers. Underlying card. How many times have we had this message? Intuition, listen, shh, tune in. Pause, you will know what to do. I'm being shown a pile of books being burned. It's like the textbooks won't help now. Relearning the same old thing won't help now. It's like this is the switchover from the intellect to the intuition. Right. Okay. You want to speak for this? Well, that's interesting. Both my feet have just gone cold. Yeah, it's a different rooting system. What are we root? Am I bringing that in? There's something I'm hovering around the edge of, peeps, which is to do with grounding. And what I was revisiting was a piece of work I did years ago, and it was with a healer. I think it was the last time I ever had a Reiki healing. And what came out was my grounding system. I'm not going to talk into that, but it's very different, my grounding system. And I didn't know whether to bring it in, but clearly it's here. So I want to speak to the antidote of life. The antidote. I don't feel very good, so I'm going to distract so I can feel better. It's our obsession and attachment to happy. And as we tune in to the inner workings of everything that controls this supercomputer, the human body is a vast and wondrous thing. There's so many systems running this supercomputer. And as we tune in, we learn to be in that moment. What does it feel like now? Where am I now? And so with these higher energies coming in, we might very well feel ungrounded, unmoored. And we might want to go to ground. And I just want to put a question mark there, because that might not be what is required now. I know. Welcome to the age of Aquarius. Yeah. So I might guide you to really go to your gut and do a need to ground and listen to the gut. Listen to the rise or fall or the warm or cold, whatever your significator is. And if you ground, how? Explore how? What is best for me? And follow that guidance. Yeah. Something about, do we want to ground back into this? It's karmic. It feels karmic. And they're showing me a DNA spiral here. And the unweaving. Big change. I'll get more, and I'm not going to sweat it or push it, but there's something about grounding. What else can you tell us, please? Yeah. Oh, thank you. Wow, look at this. Celebrate difference. You're going to grow in a whole new way, on your own terms, in your own alchemical way of working with elements in a different way. Drop the textbooks, discover your own way. This is it. Inventor energy. It's so Aquarian. It feels exciting and alive. Look at this energy. This is Kundalini rising. Dolphin is just pure sexual expression. Talking about having sex and talking about Kundalini, belly on fire. Just joy, intuition. Celebrate difference. And this is going to be one of the biggest relationship changes that happens on the planet, because that is baseline. One of the biggest causes of conflict is we cannot meet difference. So we create division and hierarchy so that is better or worse than. Religion, the big one, belief systems, where you're different is a threat to someone else's different, but actually all there is difference. That's all there is. Just gaze, look at that. Screenshot that and just gaze into the magic. This, look at this, is almost a double helix, look, coming down. This is like galactic coding coming straight down. I'm grounding by hugging a tree. Catch your breath. I've forgotten how stunning these cards are. All my cards are listed below in the description box. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Huh. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is the underlying story. So this is speaking to metaphysical energy. I'll tell you a story. 100 years ago, I went to one of my favourite places in England, which is the Peak District in Derbyshire, because it's ancient, it's so old, and it's full of rocks and water and old trees. And I took loads of photos, and I was working with another beautiful healer. And I was whizzing through these photos, just showing him photos. And he said, just wait, pause, just pause. Pause and gaze at these photos. And now tell me what you see. And they were alive with energy. So I was looking at the photo and then through the photo, and I could see the energies that were coming and going. So this is speaking, I mean, this is deeply shamanistic, is to work with the metaphysical forces that come in and out of reality, come through dimensions. And that's giving us an assurance that it's okay. Come on, it's that energy. Come on, it's kind of like a gentle cheerleading energy. Come on, it's okay. Be spontaneous in that moment, but it might not be fair, but it might not be accepted. Be spontaneous. We've got you. Come on. We've got you. Be spontaneous. Look at this. This is the collaboration. Oh, God, this energy is so stunning. There's so much coming through. I can't put it into words. Feel held. Feel held. It's vast. It's just so beautiful. It's like I'm surrounded by 1,000 angels right now. It's so beautiful. So, come on. Be spontaneous. Expand. Expand. Rainbow body activation. Kingdoms within kingdoms within kingdoms. So much we can't see that I sense is going to start coming into view. I've sensed that for more than 2-3 years now. This is the part of the existential shift. Exit is what I wanted to say. Let love be your beacon. So that's the dare to shine your light. We dare you to shine your light, and we've got you. Go on, be spontaneous. Expand your light and express it. Shift. Wow, look at these dimensions. Look at this. It's magical. This energy is just magical. Yeah, I'm going to finish with Avalon and Forest Fae. This is so cute. And alive. It's too cute. Whisper secrets to the moon. Blind. Find strength in stillness. There's that pause. Let me give you the moon. Let me give you the moon. Yeah, we've just had the full moon in Virgo. Ah, that's where Ceres comes in. That's what was speaking to me, the full moon in Virgo. Saturn is now in Pisces. And I'm going to come back to those dates. In fact, I don't want to do them in this reading. It's just 2-3D. Whisper secrets to the moon. Seek loving connections and cherish friendship with beasties. That's interesting. Seek inspiration in twilight wanderings. Twilight, think of it as the bridge between worlds, the liminal space, the noumena, the liminal space between worlds. Really bridging energies here. It's stunning. Surrender yourself to the flow of life and see how you can influence your future. Keep moving forward and your life's purpose will manifest. Well, can I say your soul's knowing will manifest? It is only when we accept vulnerability that we are truly brave. Rise above your fears. Rise above the intellect. Own the fear. Name the fear. Bring it into the room with you. Sit it at your table. Serve it a cup of tea. And it's loving every aspect of self. Every aspect. All right, people. That is it. I'm going to love you and leave you. Bathe, enjoy, and hold the tension of opposites. It's all going to get challenged now, but let there be no illusion. There is a ton of support here, ton of support. Okay, I'm going to leave you for now. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.